I've never believed in God. Ever since I was a child, ever since I was about 6 years old, I have known that God was a myth. And it wasn't until I was 10 or 11 years old that I realized that I was not alone. I found this out by getting on my bike and riding 2 miles to the local library and taking out the one book that they had on atheism, which was The Case Against God by George H. Smith. And that's when I realized that I was not alone. That was the first time I'd realized that I wasn't alone, but I had never believed in God. I was bar mitzvahed as an atheist against my will. I told my mother I was an atheist. I've never been closeted, but she thought it was just a phase, as you would expect, and I was quite literally forced to do this bar mitzvah. And it was a pretty epic point in my life because I actually got up on stage and I lied to everybody I knew. I looked out on this audience and I saw everybody that I knew, everybody that my family knew, all my friends from school, and I lied to them. And I hated that. And I represented myself as believing in a God that I didn't believe in, and I really felt bad about it. And it wasn't until really that I was in high school when I realized not only was I right, but that it was indeed okay to be an atheist, and that I was not alone. Not only were there books published, but there were other people, specifically teachers and writers, and other students in my school who agreed with me. Like I said, I've never been closeted. Now, of course, I've felt some of that. I've felt the results of that. I've lost friends because of it. I've been teased about it, but it never occurred to me that I should closet myself. And it wasn't until I was 30 years old, it wasn't until I was the state director for American Atheists that my father told me that he was an atheist. So all that time that I was an outed atheist as a child and as a teenager, he never told me until I was 30 years old. And when he finally opened up to me, when he finally came out to me, it was like I was talking. He had very developed points of view. He knew exactly what he was talking about, and he was hardcore. He was a hardcore, almost an anti-theist. In fact, he was an anti-theist. So it was very surprising to me that he was an atheist. My mother knew. My mother is Jewish by religion still, but she totally accepts me at this point. Always really has, since I've been an adult. And my wife of 20 years is still a theist, and I'm still an atheist, and we get along just fine. So to those of you who are watching this video, you should know not only that you're not alone, but that every single person in America knows more atheists than they think they know, including you. And you should be an outed atheist because it feels great. And to be a closeted atheist is really to tell a lie to your loved ones. And I know a lot of people are saying, well, you shouldn't come out if you feel uncomfortable. I disagree. I think the time in our lives to say, well, I can wait until later to come out as an atheist is over. I think now is the time to come out as an atheist. Atheism is the fastest growing segment in all 50 states, and it is time that we take our place. It is time that we make ourselves known to our friends, to our families, to our neighbors, to our co-workers. It is time we come out of the closet collectively. I'm David Silverman, and we are Atheism.